Problem 18. Simplify this expression. All right, what we have going on here is just a whole lot of multiplication. We have 2 times a to the third times b, and parentheses also mean times. Remember, when letters and numbers are right next to each other, it means times. When there's parentheses next to parentheses, it means times. So now I've got times 6 times a to the fifth times b to the fourth. So rewrite the expression without the parentheses. Now, we know that the order doesn't matter when we multiply. 3 times 4 is the same as 4 times 3. We can move numbers around when we're multiplying them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange this so all the coefficients, all the numbers are next to each other. So I'm going to go 2 times 6, cross those out, and move those next to each other. Now I'm going to move the a's next to each other. Times a to the third times a to the fifth. Cross those out. And now I'm going to move the b's next to each other. Times b to the fourth. Now, any variable that doesn't have an exponent on, I'm going to put a 1 on, because I know that that is the exponent on a bare naked variable. Now we're going to start simplifying. 2 times 6 makes 12. A times A times A. Remember, that means 3 A's multiplied. Times A times A times A times A times A. I've got 3 A's multiplied here, 5 more multiplied here, so altogether I have A to the 8th power. 8 A's being multiplied. The shortcut is to think about this as 3 plus 5. 3 A's multiplied plus 5 more multiplied makes 8. Now the B's. This is B times B times B times B times B. How many B's multiplied together? B to the 5th power. And I'm going to write that one out to make sure you understand it. This is B. B to the 4th power is 4 of them multiplied. There's the B to the 1. Here's the B to the 4. And so here's the b to the 4. You can see why it's b to the 5th power. So in the end, I end up doing a shortcut, just adding the exponents. So right now I've got this expression, 12 times a to the 8th times b to the 5th. And if we want to write it more simply, we just write it without the times signs. And this is my final answer. All right? Let's go on to number 19. We have a quotient, a division problem, being squared. So what it means, this exponent outside of the parentheses mean I want to take what's inside and multiply it by itself. 2 of these factors multiplying. So I'm going 7 over 9m to the 5th power times itself. 2 of what's inside multiplied. All right? So now when I multiply fractions, I just multiply the tops. 7 times 7 makes 49. And I multiply the bottoms. So I'm doing 9 times m to the 5th times 9 times n to the 5th. Now, I'll write that out. 9 times m to the 5th times 9 times m to the 5th. This bottom multiplied by this bottom. I'm going to go over here now. Getting a little bit full. I'm going to simplify the bottom, just like we did this last problem. I'm going to multiply the 2 9s first, and then the m to the 5th times the m to the 5th. So just kind of rearrange these in your head. We're putting the 2 9s together. We better write the top down first, though. And we're going to do the 9 times the 9, plain numbers multiplied first. That gives me 81. And then 5 m's multiplied by 5 more m's. How many m's is that altogether? That's 10 m's multiplied, which we write as m to the 10th power. This is my final answer. Take a look at this one again if you need to. Pause the video and go back through the steps again. Rewind and go back. All right? Let's do one more. Simplify this expression. Now this you can do. It just has a few new rules, some rules for exponents. We've got something outside of a pair of parentheses. This something, 2a to the 4th power, wants to get multiplied by everybody inside. So draw your arrows. So we're going to be doing 2 times a to the 4th times 7 times a squared. 2 times 7, multiply the two numbers first, is 14. A to the 4th times a squared is 4 a's multiplied by 2 more a's. That makes 6 of them, so we write a to the 6th power. All right, now let's do the next one. 2a to the 4th times 4a. We can just put that plus sign that's right here down in between, and we do the 2 times the 4, and we get 8. We do the a to the 4th times the a to the 1. Remember, if there's no exponent on it, it's a 1. A to the 4th times a to the 1 is 5 a's multiplied, so we write a to the 5th. All right, now let's do the last terms. 2a to the 4th times minus 10. Let's put that minus sign down. And there's no a's on the 10, so all we have to do is multiply the 2 by the 10 and write 20 and bring the a to the 4th along because it's going to get multiplied by the 20. So a to the 4th just stays a to the 4th because there were no a's to multiply by here. Now we check for any like terms. This is a to the 6th, a to the 5th, and a to the 4th. None of these can be combined because they're all a's to different powers. So I am done.